Thanks so much for submitting the pictures of your studios, of your home studios, and now let's go and check them out. I have a few of them here. I just wanted to do a quick reaction and share them with you so we can all see your different workspaces here. So the first studio is from Soto. This studio actually is here in Greece, an amazing location. I gotta say, I'm really impressed with this one. This is the outside. It's an amazing, it's completely detached, beautiful green space. Amazing environment to be making music. I mean, this picture already is like, okay, you want to know what's inside, really. Excellent, excellent location. Soto's a guitarist, a guitar player, fingerstyle guitarist player. Plays a very specific type of guitar, percussive kind of music. I got into this type of music a few years ago, actually. Old fingerstyle, percussive, acoustic style. And there's a few guitarists who specialize in this type of music. But check this out. This is an amazing workspace, an amazing environment to work. Natural light. I love this. And it's mind-blowing, to be quite honest. This is the studio. I was really happy with this pictures. Soto's using Pro Tools here, I can see. I've been in touch with Soto's for some time now. I haven't met him yet. I'm sure I'm going to meet you at some point. Very creative person, extremely talented guitar player, like I mentioned. And very tidy studio. The cables and a few electric guitars as well. This is an amazing work environment. I think this is outside of the home, but I do believe that this is completely detached from where he lives and close to the sea. So it's just really amazing. I mean, this is what it's all about. I mean, it's one of the reasons why, as well, I moved here to Greece, because to me, it's not only the sea, but the whole lifestyle of making music and being around the nature as well, and natural light. The studio with a natural light, that's what I'm all about. And if you can have an amazing work environment, you will feel very, very inspired. Amazing studio. This one really blew my mind. Like I said, I've been in touch with Soto for some time via emails. We met through my YouTube channel. And but I never seen his studio. So when he sent me his picture, my jaw just completely dropped. I was like, holy shit, man, not only you're an amazing guitar player, but you have this amazing working environment. This is an amazing studio. The second studio is from Aaron. Aaron contacted me a few months ago, maybe, or maybe like a month ago or so. And just reaching out as well. And he sent me the picture. This is way before I asked for the submissions of your studios, and I really appreciate it, because he said something like, I've seen your environment where you work. I've seen a lot of you, and I just wanted you to see where I work, and that I'm a real person behind the email. And I really, really appreciate it, because yes, sometimes we receive emails and we receive messages, and sometimes we don't know. It's good to put a face to the email, and to share your work environment as well. It's quite nice. I really appreciate it. So Aaron told me to use this picture that he has already sent me. It's a very small studio to work with. I can see that he has 4x12, I believe, Marshall over there in the background, and I don't know if it's a Marshall head as well. That could make a lot of noise inside that room, man, I gotta tell you. But yes, again, a perfect example as well that you can work with a very minimal gear. He's obviously a guitarist, like I said. I can see a microphone there as well. So you gotta do the best you can with what you have, and that's a perfect example of doing what you got. And you are a die-hard guitarist because you have a 4x12. I had a 4x12 at some point. I had to get rid of it. It just I couldn't make that amount of noise where I was living. But a very nice picture of Aaron, and I really appreciate for sharing this way before uh, the submissions. So amazing, you know, classic home studio, very limited when it comes down to space, but you gotta work with what you have. That's not gonna stop you. You know, we can't wait until we have a spare room or something that is ideal for you. You need to work with what you got for sure. The next studio is from Alan, and really nice, tidy. I like the stands. I still have those stands as well. I haven't used them for some time. Those stands for the monitors, for the speakers. Um, Before I got this desk, I really invested on those stands, and it made a massive difference to the listening environment. I really like it. It's really minimal. I can see a few amps as well for guitar. Very nice. This image is obviously. I like what he did. He sent me an image, nighttime kind of like vibe, and then daytime with a natural light kicking in like that. That's one of my dreams. I still yet have to. I have had my studios in many different houses and apartments, but never with a window like that. Like I have the screen and have the window kicking right in front of me. And it's again, this is something that I want to do at some point. One house or one, maybe in the future when we move to our own home that we're looking to buy, maybe really invest on a room for my studio and have like a window there, like in front of the screen, so I can just get that light like that. That's amazing. And you can see that it's a completely different vibe working at night, or the room, I should say, and with the day picture, the daylight light, very nice and tidy room as well. I can tell that it's a spare room, and another Pro Tools user. I see when I see this. People using Pro Tools, I get a little bit nostalgic, I gotta say, with Pro Tools. I love Logic. I've done the switch, but I can see a few of you are using Pro Tools. Well done. Uh, and yes, I can see a few pedals as well, guitar pedals, a MIDI controller. Again, you don't need much. And I can see a nice keyboard here on the side. Very nice, tidy room as well. Very tidy room, acoustic treatment, very minimal. You know, you don't need much really. And of course, a nice iMac I see there. Beautiful computer, of course, and the speakers. You know, those speakers, I see a lot of people using them, and yeah, really wonderful studio. Thanks a lot, Alan, for sharing this picture with us. This is Ricardo's studio. He's using the same desk that I have. I recognize this desk a mile away. Three screens, and nice keyboard right in front of it. You have a lot of some outboard gear there. Maybe some mic preamp or something like that. Yeah, I can see. This is a perfect example that I'm sure Ricardo is working a lot, because you have all your gear there ready to go, plugged in, and cables at the background. Uh, Another studio with a window. The screen is right in front of you, and behind that there's a window with natural light. I love that. That I love. And this desk is a fantastic investment. This is a classic setup. And he's using the whole part where you can actually put the speakers. He actually has the screens, and then he has the speakers on the actual stands as well. I did that at some point. Had the other speakers on the stands, but it takes a lot of space. This desk of mine. This desk, what you see, is quite big actually. But I can see that you have the space there. It's nice. And again, the window. I'm obsessed with the natural light. I spent when I was working in when I started doing Audio Jungle. I was in a small room in my previous flat, where is, if you go to my very first video, the very first vlog entry on this channel was made on that room before I moved the studio to the living room. And you can see how small that room was, and it was just four walls and no window, and I only did that for maybe a year. I really suffer, not only because it was a small space, but because I didn't have any light. So when I moved the studio to the living room, it really made a difference. And from that point on, I said, like, there's no way I'm going back to a room with no window. So I really like this one, Ricardo. And I like the photos that are really different angles, so you can see the desk and your gear. Fantastic studio, this one. The next studio is from James, and again, minimal, very minimal. Nice speakers, keyboard, speakers, another guitarist here. I'm not sure what DAW is this one that he's using. I'm not sure, I can't really see it. But yes, you know, very minimal. I mean, this is all you need really to start working and to do music, you know. A set of speakers, a MIDI controller, and a guitar. I see that you just, you mentioned something that you just purchased an orange amp. And yeah, nice telly as well. These orange amps are really powerful. When I used to work in a guitar shop, we were one of the main dealers of orange amp. Even the smaller ones, they're just like a fantastic sound. Straight in, the guitar straight into the amp. They make a fantastic, unique sound, this particular brand of amplifiers. Again, very minimal studio. Showing you that you just, with that is more than enough. I mean, this setup is better than what I had when I first got started, to be honest. And nowadays computers are so fast that, you know, it's just unreal, you know. It's all about the space and how you make the best out of it. And work with what you got. This is another example, unstoppable, that whatever you have available to you, you're just gonna set yourself in a little corner. You're gonna set up your gear, and that's where you're gonna be doing your music. That's your man cave, if you will. And respect to that, James. Amazing studio there. Another home studio from Ming Sen. And this, again, you're working with what you got, making the best out of your situations, and this, what it shows is that the determination of composers and musicians and artists to just say, I want to do this, I need to do this. And another unstoppable kind of attitude, because the layout and of your studios, of your home studio, and the way it's been set up in your room and with a minimal space that you have, shows that this is really important to you. And it's the same for me, you know. I got the studio in the middle of the living room, as you know, and I've been sharing that with you. And my wife has been dealing with this for years, so she knows how important it is for me to allow me to have all this gear in the living room instead of having a dining table here or more sofas or whatever it is that people have in their living room. So this is exactly the same thing. All of the studios that I've been seeing, that you've been sending me, is the same thing. You have a room where you do your studies or you sleep or whatever it is, or that's the space that where you live, and you have a corner that is dedicated to music making and to music production. And you know, minimal, but that's all you need. A set of speakers, your laptop, and a keyboard or a MIDI controller, and you just go with that. And you, by having that attitude of like, I'm not gonna wait until I have the proper desk or have the proper keyboard stand or have the proper speakers or whatnot, you know, have your interface, your things, and you just go for it. And from there you grow, and from there you can conquer the world for sure. That's the right attitude. That's when I see this kind of studios, that's just what the feelings I get, you know, that, and you don't need anything else at this very moment. You can always grow, you can always invest on more gear, but as it is, this is, I mean, Min Seng, she's on Audio Jungle, okay? She does fantastic music, so. And I have seen a lot of studios like this, of authors who are already on Audio Jungle, making music. So, Min Seng, I know her because we've been keeping in touch through email. She's one of my students, and fantastic musician, fantastic composer as well, and she has grown a lot as well. And to see the studio actually before, because I heard her music first, and then when I saw her studio, uh, I said like, well, you know what you're doing, because it shows that you don't need an amazing studio setup, because the music is so powerful and it's so good that it proves my point. With just very minimal setup, very minimal equipment, in a corner in your room, you can create some amazing results and still be on Audio Jungle, and still pursuing your dreams as a music composer and as an artist in general. So fantastic studio, fantastic attitude, you know. Next studio from Misaki Soto. I hope I mentioned your name okay. It's from Sound Labs Music. I believe that's one of your alias, or um, again, working with what you got, you know. That shows that it's very important to you to make music. A few guitars I see in the background as well, and massive keyboard, amazing. And just just a desk, and just go for it. Under the stairs, doesn't matter. I'm unstoppable, and this is what I want to show, that you don't need to have a 5-star home recording studio in order to get started. And that was the purpose of this video, so you can see that your setup is very similar to other people's setup, and don't feel intimidated by it. Sometimes people ask me about my setup, and it's just very basic. It's just a desk. If I didn't have this desk and I put all of my gear in a desk like yours, it would be pretty much the same. And all the outboard gear is just, I just have it nicely tidy, and the desk, like I said, is just an investment to have everything set up, but it's not a determining factor for success, for sure. And you know, again, another unstoppable studio. This is what I will call this kind of studios, because if you're working like this under the stairs, that means that you are in with a right attitude, and you just want to get stuff done. You want to get shit done, even if that means that you're going to be under the stairs in the place where you live, and screw everything else. Like whatever. I don't care about acoustics at this point. I just want to start making my music and get myself busy with growing and learning, and everything else can change as we grow and as we go along. I mean, my studio still doesn't have the acoustic foams that I had in the previous house. I'm still waiting for the thing to glue it. Um, I'm dying to put them, but that doesn't mean I'm gonna stop, or I'm not gonna carry on making music, or if I do my videos and showing my studio without the acoustic treatment, uh, it's gonna look bad. I need to carry on, and this is what all the studios as well is showing me, that everybody's in a different journey. Everybody has their own living space, and you're doing the best you can with that environment, and create music, and that's the way to go. That's the right attitude to when it comes down to music making. Like I mentioned to you, you don't need much. Next studio from Jekta. I hope I mentioned your name okay. Another example, classic example of another very minimal space available to making music, but still unstoppable. Putting your laptop like that in a little thingy with a mini controller. These are some monitors from laptops. They're not ideal for making music, uh, but I've been there. Believe me. I can't tell that DAW. I think that's Cubase. And it's not about the DAW either. The DAW, it doesn't really matter. I see that you have a massive piano here as well. I can tell you're a piano player. And yeah, man, it is another. But like I said to you, when I see this, it just shows me that you want to do this. You want to really uh, make music and compose, and really this, nothing's gonna stop you. Even if you don't have the right set of speakers at this very moment, you just have to do it. I've been there. The next studio is from Asisbek. I hope I pronounce your name okay. Ableton user. Again, this, there you go. That's a perfect example of somebody that is not using speakers, don't have speakers, just headphones. And I think this is like a launch pad from Ableton Live. I think he asked me if it was okay that you don't have a sound card. For the time being, you could just be doing music like that. The sound card is not a determining factor for you to get started or to do music. I have done music without a sound card, taking my laptop and just with Logic, and just some cheap headphones. Really, it's not a determining factor. You could always invest on these things in the future, anyways. But a laptop and your headphones, like the way you have them, like that, is more than enough to first of all get started, and second of all get the ball rolling for sure. And eventually you can invest on actually, just very basic setup of speakers and the sound card, because you will need the sound card for the speakers, really. Okay, because the sound card is the one that is gonna not only you're gonna be able to use that as a sound card and record, maybe if you have a microphone, like a live acoustic instrument, but at the same time the speakers are gonna come out of the sound card, and it's gonna be your main hub of sound, really. But again, another unstoppable attitude when it comes down to music making. No sound card, no problem. No speakers, not a problem at all. I have my laptop and I have a software, and he's just doing his music. So that's the right attitude right there. And the last studio is from Jiron. I hope I pronounce these names right. I'm terrible with names, and I'm dyslexic on top of that. So a nice acoustic treatment, very nice and tidy, nice panels, and nice speakers as well. Nice desk. I see a DJ. I see a turntable there. Maybe you're into DJing as well. What DAW is that? I believe it's Ableton as well. What it looks like, Ableton Live. Very nice. I can see some bass traps over here as well. Very nice when it comes down to the acoustic treatment. Very nice. I get the vibe that this could be an electronic producer, maybe. I could be wrong. Just correct me if I'm wrong. But very good when it comes down to the acoustic treatment. You have put a lot of thought into it. This kind of panels is what it is all about when it comes to treatment, and to have a better listening environment. And it's quite important, to be quite honest. Yes, especially the bass trap. And I see that you're a PC user. Probably that PC is really powerful. Usually PC users have a very powerful PC, at times even more powerful than Mac users. I know a couple of composers like that. They have their own PCs, and they just load it up with like amazing uh, RAM, and the hard drives are like humongous, and they're really powerful. Amazing studio. This is really tidy. This is really nice. I mean, I like it. I can only imagine how the music sounds in that environment with this acoustic treatment. So fantastic, fantastic, tidy studio. Uh, really, really good. So that's it for the studios. Thanks a lot for sending me your studio. I hope that you can see by what I've shown you, what the pictures that you have sent me, that your studio might be very similar to what you have already seen, and that we all have a different setup. We are all more similar. We're very similar when it comes down to setups, and when it comes down to the gear that we use. And it's all about how you have it all in a corner in your room, or in the living room, or wherever you live, and we're all in different places. in our journey as musicians and composers, and we have to do the best we can with what we got. That was the purpose of this video as well, for you to send me your studio so you can see that my studio, even though I take a lot of pride in this little corner and in my working environment, and I work here, and wherever I go, wherever I move, this setup is always going to be like this, and hopefully it will be improving as time passes by. But yes, I can see that you guys do your sacrifices. I've done my sacrifices. My wife has done her sacrifices, in the sense that she has dealt with this for years in the middle of the living room. In England, it was the same. And in England, we had even less space. So when we had the kids, when I got married and started having kids, and I really had to take this seriously, and I really had to not fight for it, but actually prove that I'm doing something worthwhile with it, you know? Because this does take a lot of space. The same like with your studio, you know, you have your room and you just have your laptop and your computer, a little corner. It takes effort to set that up. It takes effort to actually say, this is my corner. Whatever happens around me, this is my room. Okay, I need a bed. I need a little bit to study my things, to read or whatever. But here's where my computer goes, and here's where my keyboard goes, and this is where I make music, and this is where I compose music. So I completely can relate to the pictures that you guys have sent me. And for those of you who have a more professional setup, that's always nice, and that's what we all want to get there, to have nice acoustic treatment, have a proper room dedicated for music. I would love to have here, instead of a wall, have a nice window with natural light. Looking at the sea, for example, that would be amazing, wouldn't it? We all have ideas of what the perfect studio will be for us, and how can we have our environment where we make music to be as inspiring as possible, and as cozy as possible as well. So again, thanks a lot for sending me all of these pictures, and as always, rock and roll, and here's to your success.